were down. It was a big outage. It lasted for like what 9-8 hours.
Well, 4 hours for some, but yeah, it was gone. It was gone for a while, y'all.
Well, to me, it felt like the entire day because
I thought it was over.
I'm not saying that I live on social media, but it was very annoying going on my Instagram and not being able to refresh it because I was thinking it was my Wi-Fi, but apparently it was Zuckerberg. So he lost $7 billion following the outages from Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp.
$7 billion in one day. Oh,
In
God,
one day.
building.
Well,
that's why folks be jumping off buildings when they ain't got it like that. Like,
some people said
$7 billion.
$7 billion, child. Some people was like, though, I mean, that's probably 5 cents to him. I'm like, well,
maybe he's worth $21 billion. So
right.
6 of them. I mean, that's $6. I lost $6 today.
Well, here's the thing: the social media outages followed a recent interview with the Facebook whistleblower Frances Hagen, where she detailed many shocking allegations against the social media giant. Basically, she said Facebook's research shows that the platform amplifies hate speech and misinformation. Now, I watched the full 60-minute because she was on 60 Minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And basically what she was saying is, if you ever wonder why you see a couple posts, like you see posts that is considered hateful and posts that are
like during the campaign.
Yeah, and they get so much, and it's not even just with the campaign too, and it gets so much traction and likes and views and stuff like that. And you see it on your page. I know for Facebook and Instagram ain't the only ones to do that. When you're on the For You page and TikTok, like certain content that you like for example, if you are a conservative and you might see like liberal posts, or a liberal might see conservative posts, or a gay person might see a person that's homophobic. You get what I'm saying? Like, just to start some shit, you get what I'm saying? Because what she said on that 60-minute interview was that Facebook essentially profits off of people like arguing in the chats and people like arguing in comments and stuff like that. And just,
it's called engagement.
Engagement makes engagement, keeps people on the app. You get what I'm saying? It is, I mean, she was, honey, sis was blowing. She was whistleblowing. Okay, I definitely suggested you guys watch the full 60-minute interview because she also goes in on Instagram saying how it's like harmful to teenage girls because a lot of them are subject to be depressed and suicide and all that other stuff. I mean, sure, and there was a little bit of pushback because I went on live on TikTok and I was talking about it, and there was some people that was agreeing and some people that saying, well, is it a case of people just maybe if you feel like that when you're on social media, maybe just like hug some grass and take some time.
Or now they told these people to go out there and hug on the grass.
I can see both sides. I particularly,
of course you can. You're a Libra.
Yeah, we both see. Okay,
I understand both sides, guys.
However, I think Facebook has an obligation. I mean, if there's teenagers, okay, I get fuck grown people, right? If there's teenagers that are still considered children that are depressed and almost to the point of suicidal thoughts because of Instagram, then we have a problem. I think, yeah. I mean,
okay, so they have a problem. You have well, right, because for me,
mm-hmm.
And how you be saying this is my opinion. And y'all can't cancel me because y'all didn't make me, so it don't matter. So the same way that people can make the argument that Instagram and the Instagram models and all of these reformed bodies that people are getting can cause body dysmorphia in girls who aren't developed yet, don't look like that, because everybody was like, I want to look like that. This is what the boys want. This is what people like. I want to look like that. And it makes them feel insecure about themselves. Like, people have been doing this since the invention of Playboy. Like, when you see those models or when they started airbrushing photos in magazines, and it's the ideal. And I have to remind, that's why I'm glad I don't have kids. I would always, that'd be me telling my kids every day, whatever you saw on your phone is not real. Okay. It ain't real. What you watching on TV For the most part, it's not real. This is entertainment. It's just supposed to take your mind away from reality. And the sad part is that people have decided to make these fantasies their reality, and they accept it, and they just let these things sit in their spirit, and it mess up their brain. Like if you have a young, that's why I'm like, I never understood why, because Facebook even on the App Store, it says 14 and up. I'm like, but why do we need kids on Facebook? Like Facebook was supposed to be for old people to reconnect. People, like, it started off with, like, if you went to college, you got a college email address, and you connect with your people, create your social community, all that kind of stuff online. You can reconnect with people from high school.
Those like standard teenagers though, like
but it made sense. And then when they started opening up to like the old people and like the babies, it was like, why are they here? To see all these crazy ass. No, seriously, like, why are they here? Like, why can't you just create a site for kids?
Yeah, they were talking about it.
Kids have their own social media and just let them stay there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And and let them do what kids do and talk about what kids talk about. But all the access that has been given to kids over the past 10 years, with the access to YouTube, and they choose their own music now and all those things, like they know almost as much as us, if not more than us, about the current culture. And so I understand with that exposure, there's going to be an expense that comes with that, is that people are want to live up to these standards that they're seeing, and they don't. And if you're a person that's, I won't call you weak-minded, because if you're a kid, you're still you're still developing. But like, it can be very harmful for children. It can be harmful for an impressionable mind who isn't prepared to process information. That's the problem but that's a lot of people. A lot of grown people have a problem with processing information versus absorbing information. A lot of adults deal with that on Instagram, on Facebook, TikTok, all the things. Like, you see these things that incite you, right? Whether it's your curiosity or whether you have an opposing belief, it makes you feel something. It makes you want to argue your point. It makes you want to stand your ground and like be part of the ruckus. If you're a content creator, what we've learned, like, Facebook ain't have to do no research to say that. Like, yes, we work in media. We know that controversial shit causes engagement.
Yeah,
because it causes a conversation. It makes people think critically. It makes some people think critically, and then the people that don't like thinking, they just be talking out their ass, and it's just because they ain't got real jobs. So basically, I watched her interview, and I was like, I'm just saying, I watched her interview, and I was like, okay, well, yeah, we knew that for the past like 5 years, Facebook has been under investigation and testifying before Senate based off of misinformation campaigns during the election about, like, why can't you pull these ads if it's not facts? You know what I'm saying? Like, you literally, like, you're allowing people to get on here and spread lies and say, well, it's not our policy, because politicians have for centuries lied and said whatever to get elected. So why should we not have that same freedom of speech available online? If we can do it in real life, they can go knock on your door and lie to you and make promises and twist the truth and all these things. Why can't they do it online?
I think because that was a lot. Well,
editors of magazines have been editing photos, changing bodies,
photos, airbrushing and making people lighter, making black people lighter,
making them lighter to create this standard of beauty. So why can't we do that same thing online?
Well, okay, so that aspect. Let me get into it. Let me get into it. Like I said, I still feel like when it comes to kids are impressionable. And I see what you're saying too, because also my generation, I can safely say my generation, when I was in middle school, Facebook was there. Facebook happened, and then we all got into it. I wasn't able to get Facebook until I was like in 8th grade. That was upper class in middle school, whatever. Then Instagram came out when I was in high school, Snapchat, and Twitter was around there too. I was there before they had these community guideline rules. People could say literally any freaking thing to you. So talk about cyberbullying back then. There has been progress. However, what my issue is, and I made this on my TikTok video, the whole thing about amplifying hate speech. because I see a lot of that, like, or stuff that's controversial, not even just hate speech, stuff that's shit that's just controversial. I talked about how my fucking Instagram page was fucking shadow banned for months. I said, well, now looking back at this, I'm like, well, was that the reason? Was I not controversial enough? Did I not incite hate speech? Like, so it makes it, everything she said made sense, and it's just like, I really wish that, you know, everybody could get the same amount of amplification, if that's the thing, if that's possible. How would that not affect your numbers? You get what I'm saying? I don't know. You know, this whole situation when it comes to Facebook, that's why I was like, look, that's why I'm on TikTok now. I'm not messing with y'all. I'm gonna definitely scroll through. I'm gonna do y'all like I do. Like I used to do Pinterest, because you know you go on Pinterest, you don't be doing nothing on Pinterest. You just be swiping. It's a swiping app. That's what this was looking like on Instagram and Facebook. And I made a post. I said, girl, I don't care. The day this shit will become new MySpace, I'd be like, ooh. But hey, I mean, it's to each his own. When it comes to Instagram, you know, like I say, I think people should, if it makes you depressed, I feel like you should try to stay away from those sites. I mean, I never experienced that. Because I'm just the type of person, I just care what's going on with me. Yeah. You know? and when you do that, you ain't gonna worry about the girl that's using Facetune to make her skinny, to make herself skinny. Like it's because now that we know that it's fake, why does it bother you at this point? It's like, well, hell, you know the shit fake. And even if it's not, like, you know, just, you know, once we all work, we got to worry about the lives that pay us.
Girl, I'm just sick of this whole. I'm just sick of this whole, like, what about the kids thing with everything, because it's like, okay, listen, and it's not just because I don't have kids, because I have nieces and nephews that I care for deeply, and I want them to be raised in an environment where they're learning, you know, educational stuff. Is, you know, as far as, you know, the things they need to know when they become adults and how to function in the world as civilians, but also like worldly things. Like there's a time and place for them to learn certain things, and I feel like the internet isn't the place for them to learn it. So
boom.
I don't have kids, but if I did have kids, my kids wouldn't need a cell phone that has anything on it other than for them to be able to call me, like, or to text me, or to play games, because that's what children are supposed to be doing. Put your digital flashcards on your phone, like download educational apps for your children. And, you know, parents need to, you know, the excuses of, you know, parent, everybody's working now, I don't have time, I can't monitor, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, if you can't monitor, then you shouldn't give them those devices or access. And it's like, well, their friends at school have, so like, okay, there were a lot of things that even when I was in school that my friends had access to. Like there were boys when I was in elementary school and middle school that would sneak their dad's Playboys to school so we could all be in the bathroom like, oh, look at those titties. You know what I mean? But it's when
you put the phone down, you got to be a parent now.
Okay, the problem is that the parents are more on social media than the kids. You're not seeing what your kids are seeing because you busy trying to be the next Amber Rose. Go be a parent, because when it comes to content creators, girl, fuck your kids, because that's not who my target audience is.
All right.
I make adult content for adults, and if your kids see it, then where's their guardian? That's me. Who do you belong to, and why do they not have control over what it is that you having access to? Because that's not my problem, Stevie. Okay. Yeah,
absolutely. I remember I had a conversation about the other day about the whole, they still talk about Lil Nas X, and I'm like, girl, first of all, when I was on YouTube, I had to, and better not be no kids watching, I had to fake my damn age. I was 85 with a Google account.
Because you a liar. But that's not the point.
If y'all make y'all kids Gmail accounts with the correct age and make them use that Gmail account, they will not be able to watch certain shit on YouTube.
You think the kids today don't know how to make an account, a Gmail account?
Well, I mean, if it's so if they 14, 15, give or take, I mean, at this point, there's nothing that you can hide from them. They're going to search out. I'm talking about kid. I'm talking about 13 and under. You get what I'm saying? That shouldn't really know what's going on. Like I have cousins that are playing with tablets, that are playing like Roblox and shit like that Roblox is for kids, but like there be some grown people on there, and it's weird. It's very weird over there. But like, you know, we have to. You gotta. I'm not trying to say try harder because there is no like way to be a parent. I'm not a parent, but I'm just saying like, you know, you got to adapt to the times.
Fuck that. We were kids. We had parents.
So Zuckerberg ain't Zuckerberg is not that your kid's father. You get what
he's not responsible. Like he's not responsible for your fucking kids. He's not responsible for you doing your own research. Like.
You seen when they was in court and they was in one of the representatives was like, oh well, what is your a plan on Finsta? Yeah, that company that I'm like, Finsta.
I don't own that. I don't care.
You can't control people making burner accounts. They didn't even know what
Finsta is.
Finsta is a fake Insta. It's not even a company. It's like
Finsta is the fake Instagram pages.
Yeah, it's like a burner account. It's like we don't put your profile on it. We all got some burner accounts, child. You know, I got a couple.
I don't got no burner accounts. I don't have time. Like
hell yeah, I got a burner account.
I don't. It's hard enough for me to keep with my own shit. Like I don't have time to be. First of all, I'm just not one of them fake ass niggas. I ain't got time to be lurking. If I don't have access to your shit, that means I ain't supposed to see it, and I'm okay with that. I'm totally okay with not having access to other people's shit. I have my own shit going on. That's the problem. Mm-hmm. Y'all ain't got real lives out here. Y'all focus on all the wrong shit. Go make some money. Okay,
money.
Go figure out how to create generational wealth for yourself and your family and your kids. Okay, like if you train your children to focus on certain things, yes, the world is going to happen. You can, and my mom was saying all the time, the world will be waiting for you when you're done. And it made me realize, like, I don't have to rush anything. Like, let me just enjoy being a kid because this time is limited. Like, you only get to be a kid or a young adult for like 18 years. Yeah. And I'm supposed to live till like 70, 80, 85. Like, no, let me enjoy this time of me being my fucking self and being a kid and learning and having fun, you know, because there's no rush. There's no rush. And I feel like these kids have so much access that they're rushing themselves. There are kids who are 12 and 13 who are looking at Instagram or looking at the Kim Kardashians and the Nicki Minaj's. And even though we love these
there, but you got to be where you at now.
Right. But even though we love those kids, we love those people, we appreciate what they do for the entertainment culture. At the same time, it's like, well, a kid at that age, you shouldn't be aspiring to that body type because you ain't going to develop into that yet. Like these people had to have babies to get their hips spread like that before they start sucking fat and moving shit. You know what I mean? Like, take your time. Take your time.
If that's what you really want, and I hate to I don't want to sound like B Simone, but you know, if be what you want to be. You get what I'm saying? You got to do the work. And I'm gonna leave it right there.